of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
H&H Roofing, established in 2015, is proud to serve the local area, which includes the tri-state area in Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota. H&H Roofing has a professional team that are licensed and bonded, GAF Master Certified Installers, and an insurance-preferred contractor that will work directly with your insurance company. Also a leading roofer, siding, and gutter specialist. H&H Roofing will service all residential, commercial, and agricultural needs. Go to HNHroofs.com for more information or call 402-359-2546.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We are back Tuesday. Jay Foreman, DP Austin, Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, special ingredients and butcher shop located at 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat and every type of cut. Go in there and ask them what's up. Little bit of a slow news cycle, but DP, we're gonna get this party started right there with you. We're gonna get you cranked up. We know you're in a little bit of a mood, so I'm gonna ask you just your initial thoughts on this.
Uh-huh.
Former command. Hey, Austin, you see when DP always try to get me going.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're gonna get back like
okay.
we striking back.
Goes
like
both ways.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back,
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi, whatever you want to call it. Former Commander's vice president. Now, imagine it goes the owner, president, vice president, or owner, CEO, CFO, vice president, third in charge on paper. Former Commanders vice president Jason Friedman sues the team for defamation. He had to testify in front of Congress alleging the financial improprieties by the Commanders, so forth and so on. And he is suing them for $7.5 million. So what is that, like 1% of what they probably sold, right? $8 billion. And $350,000 in punitive damages, which is essentially attorney fees, I think. And then also DP, which is probably the money is obviously huge. And the owners, I think, are up in Minneapolis here to vote on the sale of the team and to get the owners more familiar with minority candidates, the coaching candidates as well, because no, straight up, it is. It's a
I know
because Pep Hamilton and Leslie Frazier are up there.
Pep has a house 8 minutes from FedEx Field. He still has a house.
Yeah,
he played quarterback at Howard University.
Yeah, same with Steve White too. So
yeah.
I know Steve really well and talk.
I love Steve White.
So
tell him I said that next every time we talk to him.
But here's the best part about this with this Friedman though, and this is let you know, not only is this
trying
about
to distract him and it's not working
about money because he wants his money because essentially he's probably from future earnings and defamation, so he's assuming he can't get a job, right? And he said this is the biggest part, I think, in this article. He wants a jury trial. So what that lets me know, he wants it all out there, and he wants you judged by some peers now that you're not an owner. So essentially, he knows you don't have the power anymore, right? It's already out there that you've done some stuff. So, he probably knows he's going to get some sort of money. And if you want it to go away, you're going to have to pay him $8 million. Or is it worth $8 million that we're going to put your stuff out on blast? What's your thoughts on that there, Mr. Derek Pearson?
Give him credit for waiting, for being patient.
Well, I think he was advised to wait he was indirectly advised to wait until the sale of the team was essentially a foregone conclusion. That's why they kept pushing it back.
He was also not the only one advised to wait until the sale
Right.
of the team.
But with him being third in charge and having to essentially testify in front of Congress when you don't want, I mean, essentially Congress knocked on his door and said, hey, what you doing? Eating breakfast? Okay, cool. You got a minute to finish your eggs and bacon? You got, yeah, you're in your PJs? Yeah, we got a suit. We know what you are. 34 long, 48 chest. See you tomorrow. And we got the car out front. So, we got your kids taken care of. What do you think about this?
They were real specific in the filing to not make it commanders, but in fact to list the previous ownership and the future ownership. So they named both facets in this thing so that they're both responsible, and you couldn't sell out or clear because of change of ownership. Also in the petition was the request to accept information such as work emails, private emails, texts.
Yeah, but I mean, this dude is, but here's the thing. He had worked for I guess the Washington football organization, because they're obviously the Redskins and the football team and now the Commanders for over 24 years. Quarter of century. He's worked his way from ticket sales all the way up to vice president of sales, customer service. Was fired.
1997 was his first internship, and then he became legit in 1998.
So essentially, Jason Wright's first fire was him.
Where was I in 90? Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so he
Carry
had
on.
a ton of emotional damage, anxiety, and they have confirmation of the defamation. So when people would call to ask about employment for him for a comparable job, they said that Washington vigorously worked to defame, his, credibility.
Ownership. They wanted ownership of said employee rather than just employment of said. So imagine Jay applying for a job and then referring his future employer to me to give that report and to communicate back and forth, knowing full well that I would then in turn tell Jay what they said.
Right. But here's what's interesting. Who do you think coincides with that 24-year employment?
The ownership, Daniel Snyder. A portion.
Hold on. That's it. Hold on. DP, you got to start and stop there. See, you trying to add on stuff to get past your boy Daniel Snyder. He is
not my boy.
Hold on now.
He is not my boy.
One of the first employees that he hired, Daniel Snyder hired full time, is this man.
I'm like Steve Harvey talking about Sister Odell.
Hold on.
You're lying, Jay, when they say
as he was
here
promoted
right here.
How do you think he continued? You think Daniel Snyder didn't know that the first guy he hired?
Daniel Snyder took him to Bermuda, Aruba, Cancun for all of the.
He wants.
No, Jay. Let me finish it though. For all of the calendar shoots and all of the cheerleader auditions and all of the cheerleader calendar shoots and all of the big check spending charter flights around the country and around the world, limousine rides to away games where Redskin rallies would take place the night before the game in various cities. And I've noticed that I'm not saying allegedly.
Yeah, but they said now that now Friedman, the NFL is going to do an investigation to make sure that he was being truthful. Friedman's lawyer said he'll be vindicated by not only the court of law, which is the jury trial he wants, but then also by the NFL.
It'll never make it to court.
No,
it'll never make it to court. This will be one of 8 set such lawsuits. None of them will make it to court. They will all be paid by new ownership in a private agreement off the books for whatever value. He only asked for 8. He will accept 4 and a walk away.
Let me ask you this though.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll move on. Attorney Mary Jo Wright is still conducting the investigation into Snyder and the team. Roger Goodell says that he will release her findings when the probe is done. The caveat to it is when the Republicans won the control of the House, they declined to pursue the matter even further. But Roger Goodell says he's going to release the findings on the probe. On a scale of 1 to 10, or just give me a percentage that you think that is actually ever released. Because if I'm Daniel Snyder and I sell and I pay whoever, and I have to pay all this money to people to get whatever, part of my deal is selling this team, willingly selling this team, is those findings don't see the light of day.
Some of them will be redacted.
They'll be blacked out.
So some of them. Yeah,
you'll
Mary Jo Wright is still under her feet. So no matter how long this thing goes, she gets paid by the hour. Her firm gets billed by the hour for as long as they draw this out. Shared expenses between old ownership and new ownership apply. So it doesn't matter how long it takes. Now, the NFL can come in, the other owners, which is what they're going to have to do in order to get this. Well, no, first of all the other owners will get the report in full. Then the question becomes, what does Jerry want to do with it? What does what does Jerry want to get from it?
You better watch out for the Colts owner because he's mad.
Well, Irsay's mad, but here's the thing. That thing of honor amongst thieves only applies within the fraternity. Irsay doesn't like Snyder. He will leak the same way Gruden got leaked. Simply because an owner chose to do so, and they have the money to pay for the legal fees regarding it.
Yeah.
Whatever legal fee, whatever Mary Jo Wright charges, whatever a firm charges by the hour, every owner in the NFL can pay it in full.
Oh, for sure.
Today,
Today
to accomplish whatever they want. Understand the real gang play that's here. This is some real gangster stuff going on.
Do you think Goodell has the cojones enough?
No.
Because here's what people don't understand. As much as majority or a high percentage of those owners, of the 31 other owners, don't like Daniel Snyder, were really upset with him when he had pretty much PI'd and got dirt on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
As much as they don't like him.
Oh, they're afraid of him.
They're afraid of him, but they also still will protect him.
Because he's a wild card, right?
But see, they're all wild cards.
But
see,
he won't. They still won't. They still won't bury him.
No, because if I don't trust Austin, it doesn't matter if I trust Jay. We keep us all in check, and no matter what direction it goes, they're all doing dirt work. Old brooms know where the dirt is. That's the old adage. There are no new owners in this place. Even the owners who become new owners have been in the game somewhere else. They know the rules. They know the fraternity. They know the code. All of this is just rich people throwing nickels around to occupy the minds of poor people. It has nothing to do with anything that's going on. All of them folks are about to get richer Thursday. All of them get monumentally richer on Thursday because of this change of ownership. That's the whole ploy. Don't fall for the okie doke. Don't let your eyes roam and look over here and go, what do I wonder about this? No. This is an excuse for all of us not to pay attention to all of them getting more money. They're going to get a better TV deal. They're going to have new partnerships. They got one less snake to worry about, except they may have invited in a bigger, badder snake.
Well, yeah, they know. I mean, they approved the sale because of he knows how to operate as an owner of a professional team. I just think, and knowing McNair and knowing Cal and just knowing some owners, they're just not gonna. The only way that they'll really bury Daniel Snyder, it's like the casino where it's like, all right, dude, I done told you 2 or 3 times. Then they got to take. Now we got to take you out. And now we got to do it.
Once he's out of the game, yeah.
It's kind of like they'll send him up to upstate New York.
When was the last time you heard from Donald Sterling?
He was just on.
Right. Literally went away.
Yeah, he was just on one of the shows and something like that.
They had to go find him.
Yeah, kicking it.
I understand. There's some owners you ain't heard a cricket from. Not a cricket. The Miller family in Utah, crickets. Nothing.
Anyways, good first segment about DP's Commanders. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Northwestern.
I divorced him.
It kind of goes along with what we just said. The president.
I broke up with him, Jay.
President of Northwestern just threw a
You
grenade
are
over.
really
over
on
the
one
bow.
today, aren't you?
Well, I'm just reading here. I'm just educating myself. So when we come back, we'll just talk a little bit of Northwestern. DP, Jay Foreman. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through July 18th are $2 off each pound of petite tender cuts. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations opening soon at 27th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha with soft openings in mid-July. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you, your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again, and with me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all of us are extremely proud to have earned this award, and I want all of our customers to know it's not just earned by one person's efforts. It's the entire dealership, sales, parts, and our amazing service department.
17 times. Wow. How does that compare to other Honda dealers?
This award is only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence. We really do strive to go above and beyond for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale, Charlie.
That's why for 2022, Honda of Lincoln is once again Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
H&H Roofing, established in 2015, is proud to serve the local area, which includes the tri-state area in Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota. H&H Roofing has a professional team that are licensed and bonded, GAF Master Certified Installers, and an insurance preferred contractor that will work directly with your insurance company. Also a leading roofer, siding, and gutter specialist. H&H Roofing will service all residential, commercial, and agricultural needs. Go to HNHroofs.com for more information or call 402-359-2546.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: showers and storms likely this morning. We'll see partly sunny skies this afternoon. We'll see a high of around 82. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, a low of around 63. And tomorrow, we'll see a slight chance of showers and storms in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see partly sunny skies with a high of around 87. Meteorologist Kyle Klecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The wait is almost over. The Guardians of Freedom Air Show is the hottest event in the area, coming to Lincoln's Air Park on Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th. Elevate your air show experience with tickets to the premium seating tent, padded seats, meals, and more for just $125. Premium tickets are going fast, so buy yours today. To purchase premium tickets and for more information, visit LincolnAirShow.com. We'll see you at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show in late August. The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. And there are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at PremierDW.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. DP J Foreman on Tuesday. You know, it's taking the task Tuesday. We went from the Commanders, which is going to be sold here in a few days, less than a week. Well, it's already done, but just getting the dotting the I's, crossing the T's.
Hit that hallelujah chorus.
Now we're going to another hot mess that seems to get worse and worse. But this is if there's ever an example of CYA, okay, for you people out there, University President Michael Schill. First of all, he fired the baseball coach. First of all, he had the thing with Pat Fitzgerald. Then he hit every baseball player up. Text message talking about you got to Zoom in an hour and let you know I fired the baseball coach that been under investigation since last August on discrimination, all this other stuff, and let him coach the year. Now, what he's doing now, he's going to have 2 separate probes into the athletic department and assess the culture of Northwestern athletics and the relationship to academic mission. Now listen here, Michael. Is it Michael? You wouldn't be in this position if you didn't fumble on the 1 yard line, not once but twice. You straight up went Seattle Seahawks and trying to throw the ball, and you got Marshawn Lynch back there. The first time you had offsides on the defense. Now you're at the half-yard line, and then you tried to throw a fade, and it got picked off. If you would have just disciplined Pat Fitzgerald and said, hey, dude, I know you don't want to do it. I got to suspend you for a year. This is something that we need to really get a hold of, and you need to be a part of it. You're going to be here, and we're going to go through this together. This next year is going to suck, but 2024, you're going to be a head coach. Mm-hmm. That's number one. Let alone your baseball program. Isn't the baseball program the one where the coach quit and they didn't have any player, like any coaches or something before the game? Yeah. That coach should have been fired just on GP. Yeah. And then you kept him for what took you so long? You know what I mean? You're investigating the dude, right? It's just baseball. I mean, I'm not dumbing down baseball, but it's not like, Northwestern baseball is like Big Ten stalwarts, or there's only like 30 some players, right? So you can interview all 30 some players very quickly, and you already obviously you have an investigative firm that you can use. But while the investigation is going on, with serious allegations, the ones you end up firing them with, right? You decide that, man, go ahead and coach. Like this,
You're not good for our kids, but hey,
but this dude doesn't. But here's what he's doing. And if I'm the athletic director, oh, I'm kicking doors down. Like I said, I'm taking my V8 Vortec and I'm driving this thing right through your front door. Dog, how are you up here telling me you need to look into my athletic department when you messed up?
Everybody knows that the job security in the athletic director realm is you hiring or firing a coach, because it gives you time within the job. So if you fire a baseball coach, immediately who you hire shows value in your position, depth of your character, and your power within the organization. You literally turned that down twice and said, "Nah, I'll do anything. Go ahead. Cool. I'm cool."
But the best part is you called up the Board of Regents, had a meeting, probably via Zoom, because this dude don't like going nowhere. This dude was,
he was in Aruba,
right? And you come up, he's like, "Oh yeah, hey, we just paid millions of dollars for the investigation for 6 months. This is what we got. Just a couple weeks off while he's on vacation at his house in Michigan. Is that cool? Yeah, it's cool. Everybody signed off on it, and just went through the weekend like you just think that like it was going to be kosher.
Can we legitimately ever be surprised? And please, feel free to answer. Are we ever going to be able to be surprised by athletic departments not doing basic
This is
stuff?
a president, and this dude, listen, I know it's Northwestern. I understand it, but it is Northwestern. That's why it's so bad, because this dude's supposed to be smarter than everybody else.
We know that
and you're
we can't be surprised anymore. We have to know that just because you're in a position of power and authority at a university doesn't necessarily mean we need to check the box and go, you're brilliant, you're capable, competent.
True, but I would just like to think that, man, this dude is at Northwestern in Big Ten. Like, don't you have any friends to call?
No.
Because them presidents operate different than athletic directors. So they have presidents
meetings. They get together. Okay. They get together.
So just call up anybody. Say, hey, man, this is what I got going on.
You couldn't call Nebraska, right? Yeah, you could.
You can call anybody. Call Tyrone.
What
doesn't matter who you call. Couldn't you say, hey, man, listen.
Call Jenny.
This is
call 777-9311.
Right. Call somebody. Okay. Call somebody. I don't care who to do something. Put an APB out and just pick up the phone and say, man, have you ever had any hazing on your football team? In what magnitude? And what would you and you could play the hypothetical.
You could play Kevin Hart. Damn. You're surprised and caught off guard.
What if somebody we just investigated it. I don't really think it's that big a deal. The investigator said that the coaches they didn't know, but they could have done more to know. Okay, so that's where it's at, right? So what would you do at your university? You could call Boise
Austin,
State.
the Fighting Austin Ormans. Okay,
like you know what I mean? Just pick up the phone. Hey man, you want to go get some cognac? Show up with your little sweater around your neck.
Right. Well, my typical MO is I want as much information as I can possibly get my hands on. Right. So the report should be thorough, detailed. I would make sure I read it. But also, I think talking to people is a good idea, right? Like you don't want it to leak, but like we've been talking about too, like we as a president, I know how another president operates, right? I trust that.
No,
I have
you
dirt
think
on them.
you,
I think I trust.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying I trust them. I trust that I know how they'll act.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I tell them something, it's because I have something on them that they know they're not going to go. So
Right.
I trust that.
Austin got a ledger over here. You know.
You know.
You gotta watch out for Austin, boy.
So yeah, it's using all the information available, going one step further, because like you said, these colleges and universities have bungled it so many times. I'm doing my best to understand there's no winner here, but do as little losing as I can in this situation.
It makes me think, okay, so, and this is during the Washington heyday, the Super Bowl runs, right? And Joe Gibbs would say, I remember George Michael, legendary sportscaster George Michael, asking Joe Gibbs, how do you make the decision between rumors that you hear? And he said, George, and I remember this like it was just, he said, George, I've learned this to be true. The more bizarre the rumor, the more true likely that it's true. He goes, because the mundane doesn't get to me. People don't come up to me and with some bizarre. He goes, if I heard about Dexter at a club in Georgetown on a Tuesday, it's probably true. If I heard that Riggin said a thing so ridiculous to the most ridiculous person, it's probably true. That's what I think about with these leaders, etc. The most bizarre stuff you hear is the stuff you need to react to. Think about it, Jay. Think about your teammates, and we won't name names. But if you said, hey, so-and-so did a thing so bizarre, you immediately would go, probably.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, some guys. But I'm just sitting there like, man, like, dog, I mean, you didn't have, I mean, this dude right here that got out of get out of jail free card like 5 times. Like, you keep fumbling over your foot, man.
We could have wrote this story and
stop
said,
talking.
we could have said, hey,
listen,
Jay.
That dude there,
right?
That dude with Michael.
Yeah.
Whoever knows Michael, okay, call him, send him a certified letter, and just type it in big. Stop talking and start thinking.
We could say,
he said, "Oh no, we're gonna review the athletic department now."
We could have said 6 months ago. We could have said 6 months ago. Here are the rumors about Northwestern.
No, but DP, you
still wouldn't have believed him.
No, but I mean, just think about this now. It blew up in his face, not once but twice. His doing, and now he's like, you know what, man? We need to look at this athletic department, man.
Does he have his job?
Yeah,
opening day.
Guarantee the athletic director about to get fired. He done fired the most iconic person to step foot on that campus. Okay, that's job security right there.
Yeah.
After he messed it up though,
he got Goliath. He really got Goliath, and he didn't have a choice. But think about how bad this has to be for them to
get
get
choices. He just made the wrong one twice, and he's working on the third one. Also, here's what I would ask him. What are you looking for now? Like, I mean,
fire, broken bones. What do you?
I mean, you looking for dead bodies now or something? I mean, like, what are you looking at that Northwestern athletics and the relationship to academic mission? Your kids ain't failing out of school, so that's cool. So everything right there is good. So what are you looking to find now? That
what do you think you're gonna find?
I'm afraid of what comes out. Like, think about it. Like, you had to fire Pat Fitzgerald. What do you now know? More importantly, I think it's what you already knew. I think it's what you already knew that other people are now talking about.
Now confirming?
Right. Well, no. It's the lid is off. That people now know this is sort of nonsense that's been going on in this athletic department for a long time. Like, other people know. It's the one thing, like when your neighbor find out that you don't wash your laundry. Like, wait a minute, you got the clothesline in the back, and you got no dryer in your house. They probably don't wash their clothes. They probably don't wash their clothes. And then you go,
he's not as dumb as you. I think he is. So you missing the point here. You missing the point with this dude. This dude actually is pretty slick. So here's what he's doing. He's appealing to the people that actually matter to Northwestern, the student body, the smart people, and the money holders, and they care about academics. So here's his statement here, and just listen to this statement and how he pimped him here. This dude, hey, he on Fifth Street. He's a Fifth Street pimp, right? only the good pimps are on the even numbers. The Fifth Street guy, he gonna be at the barbershop playing that game with the ball in the cup. He said, in the wake of this unfortunate situation, my job, right, is to work closely with you. So now we are in partnership with the people that matter to not just restore the trust in the athletic department, pointing the finger at them, but to make it better. Now we're dummying them down, right? Now if we're going to uplift them, so we're going to do them some good because we're smarter, right? And I'm the president. All I do is I'm the president. I don't care about sports. And more closely integrated with our academic mission. So he said, academia, we here. I'm your president.
I'm your guy.
I'm your guy.
Hey, y'all, guess what they do?
Right. That dude right there is a Fifth Street pimp, man. See, I just thought, the first of the article, I was like, he's the dumbest guy. He might be the smartest guy out here. Because he said, you know what? I really done messed up. What's the best way to get out of trouble?
Hey, Jay, come here. Guess what Austin do?
You know what he did? He went and stole money out of like the high school treasury, right? Or he stood outside, but then he went around and got everybody in the student body and said, "Man, them dudes over there do it, man. But let's bring them along. Let's rehab them so they can get up to our standards." That dude's the gatekeeper and the dude that said, "Go ahead and do it."
Gangster.
And he turned around and he's like, "Yeah, we need to hold you more accountable. You should do better."
You find out they're going to announce next week. His real name is Kaiser Sose. They're gonna find out he's Kaiser Soze.
Well, Kaiser Soze was
he gonna be walking down the street, and then his leg gonna straighten out,
Yep.
his hand gonna straighten out, and he gonna pimp walk down the street like Kevin Spacey.
In the wake of Northwestern, you don't want him to be Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey got his own stuff getting up. But you know what?
Yeah, right.
Good second segment there, Northwestern. We'll get into some better stuff here coming up. There's an interesting article I want to tell you guys about, a quote of Jerry Rice and some of his rituals. We're gonna get in the short segment. Jay Foreman DP. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're an electrician, we've got a career for you. It's a career with employer-paid health care and retirement benefits. Join the IBEW Local 265 family and work for one of our NECA contractors. Come to our job fair on August the 3rd from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Holiday Inn, 2500 Tamarind Ridge Road in Southwest Lincoln. For more information, call Mike Murray at 402-875-1034. That's 402-875-1034.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products, are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at premierdw.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again, and with me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all of us are extremely proud to have earned this award, and I want all of our customers to know it's not just earned by one person's efforts. It's the entire dealership, sales, parts, and our amazing service department.
17 times. Wow. How does that compare to other Honda dealers?
This award is only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence. We really do strive to go above and beyond for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale, Charlie.
That's why for 2022, Honda of Lincoln is once again Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
H&H Roofing, established in 2015, is proud to serve the local area, which includes the tri-state area in Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota. H&H Roofing has a professional team that are licensed and bonded, GAF Master Certified Installers, and an insurance-preferred contractor that will work directly with your insurance company. Also a leading roofer, siding, and gutter specialist. H&H Roofing will service all residential, commercial, and agricultural needs. Go to HNHroofs.com for more information or call 402-359-2546.
The wait is almost over. The Guardians of Freedom Air Show is the hottest event in the area. Coming to Lincoln's Air Park on Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th. Elevate your air show experience with tickets to the premium seating tent, padded seats, meals, and more for just $125. Premium tickets are going fast, so buy yours today. To purchase premium tickets and for more information, visit LincolnAirShow.com. We'll see you at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show in late August.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: showers and storms likely this morning. We'll see partly sunny skies this afternoon. We'll see a high of around 82. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies and a low of around 63. And tomorrow, we'll see a slight chance of showers and storms in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see partly sunny skies with a high of around 87. Meteorologist Kyle Klecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Quick segment, and I've been trying to. One thing about this is the dog days of this is like the gray area, right? Because NFL training camps are going to be kicking off here this weekend for some rookies, or the rookies are definitely getting back in town. Veterans will be there, and I'm not sure if they report at the same time. So I know that feeling of, I wouldn't say obviously I've never been to prison, but you're going on lockdown. Your fun time and your life is about to change, and it's a good thing too, because every day you're getting inching closer to the season. But when you're not playing anymore, you can kind of it's just a gray area where football is 44 days away, right? 44 days, which is a great number, but it's still a long time, but it's very close because it's better than 94. And then now they're starting to play old games, and they're starting to, and then I'll, Google stuff. So I was like, let's see what Jerry Rice used to talk about. So Jerry Rice before Super Bowls, he said he could never sleep the night before the Super Bowl. So he'd stay up all night, game planning, visioning, you know what I mean? Now I'm sure he slept, right? I mean, it's before a big game. You have to sleep. If he didn't, he wouldn't be able to perform. But the thing that was most interesting, he ate his last meal at lunch and then ate very light, just obviously hydrated, because he wanted to be the lightest that he could be so he could, obviously, perform the best.
Yep.
He knew his strength wouldn't be, depleted. He probably, I'm sure he ate some fruit and stuff like that, but he didn't eat any heavy meals because he really wanted to trim down and be ready. And obviously worked out because I think the Super Bowls, he has like 600 yards and like 8 TDs. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that, man. One, him not sleeping that much. I can see Jerry doing it. I can see him being so focused. He's hyper focused. He still thinks he can play now. But then two, him going out and having the ability to perform and dominate the way he did, essentially not eating for a whole day before the game.
That's not, especially for receivers.
Yeah.
For receivers, that tends to be
but
the thing.
But you're running though, man.
Well, Gary Clark went a step further. Like, he didn't want to run from Friday until Sunday.
Right.
He wanted to save his hamstrings for Sunday. He rarely practiced. Final 5 years of his career, he rarely practiced other than walkthrough day. And Joe Gibbs let him. He was like, nope, do your thing, protect yourself.
Yeah, as long as you're playing.
As long as you're
I'm
playing.
saying before a Super Bowl, though, the nerves. I mean, I just only know from playing the national championships, and you burn a lot more calories with the anxiety, and you got to think you've been training all since January 1, and sometimes we play January 1 of the next year. So everything that we've been putting our blood, sweat, and tears in mindset, beliefs, and hopes, and all that stuff, here you are.
Well, think about all the rules of things of nutrition that were wrong.
Right.
From the 80s and 90s that were wrong.
Right.
I mean, think about it. We had a whole league that told you water makes you weak. Oh, dummy, keeps you alive. But we literally repeated this stuff. Right. Like they tell you, hey, no, stay away from girls. And then the sign says, no, actually not. Probably not really the thing.
I think with Jerry Rice, he was so meticulous about how he went out into the game because he'd lay out his uniform and then he'd put it on. It had to be very segmented. I think this falls right into it.
Tailored.
It makes me wonder what he was like as a kid, because you don't just pick up the habit of not sleeping and not eating out of nowhere, right?
Mississippi poor kid.
Right. That's
Mississippi poor kid.
Yeah, he had to learn it somewhere. So he went back to what was comfortable, and somehow that level of discomfort was more comfortable to him.
Yeah, and I don't eat breakfast now.
I think the drive for him and being overlooked coming from Mississippi Valley State and Bill Walsh challenging, because what people don't understand, they see Jerry Rice right now, or not right now. They see every record that he has. He's the GOAT, one of the best football players ever, if not the best football player by the ranking. He struggled his first year.
Mm-hmm.
He struggled with drops.
Yep.
He struggled with getting off the line. He struggled. And then once Bill Walsh got his confidence going, and I almost think that I wouldn't say out of fear, but fear of failure. And it drove him to the utmost. So
him and Walter Payton fall in that same class.
And I think he just kept adding on, kept adding on. Great thing, Jerry Rice. If you ever get a chance, Google it. It's on YouTube and all that stuff. Jay Foreman, DP, will be back at the top of the hour. Talk about some more good stuff here. We got some other stuff going on in the NFL. I want to talk about the running backs not getting paid. Is it collusion or is it bad timing? Hold tight, running backs. You'll get your bags. Jay Foreman, DP, will be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're an electrician, we've got a career for you. It's a career with employer-paid health care and retirement benefits. Join the IBEW Local 265 family and work for one of our NECA contractors. Come to our job fair on August the 3rd from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Holiday Inn, 2500 Tamarind Ridge Road in Southwest Lincoln. For more information, call Mike Murray at 402-875-1034. That's 402-875-1034.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Need service on your home air conditioner? Call the company Lincoln has counted on since 1952, Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. No matter what brand you have, when you need service, you want Bryant's experienced pros working for you. Friendly NATE certified technicians with the tools, training, and technology to restore your comfort quickly. No matter what brand, when you need service, just call Bryant. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. But there are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. but delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery, online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
It's a new era for Nebraska football with a new head coach. Gear up for the season with 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of Big Ten Media Days. Live from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis on July 26th and 27th. Jay Foreman, Amon Green, Vershawn Jackson, Terrell Farley, Derek Pearson, Steve Sipple, and Jake Sorensen will be in Indy for our shows on Wednesday and Thursday. Coverage of Big Ten Media Days is brought to you by Ben Bleicher of Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate, Gary Michaels Clothiers, Warhorse Gaming, A1 Automotive, and the 1890 Initiative.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again, and with me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all of us are extremely proud to have earned this award, and I want all of our customers to know it's not just earned by one person's efforts. It's the entire dealership. Sales, parts, and our amazing service department.
17 times. Wow. How does that compare to other Honda dealers?
This award is only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence. We really do strive to go above and beyond for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale, Charlie.
That's why for 2022, Honda of Lincoln is once again Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Spring is here, and it's time to wake up Judson. Judson Irrigation is eager and ready to get your sprinkler system up and running for the season. Judson's technicians will check for winter damage, adjust your sprinkler heads, and show you how to set your controller for effective sprinkling coverage. The Judson Irrigation team is here for you. Stay safe.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Summertime is in full swing, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway. Deck City, your local deck experts.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh, man. I can't wait. I can't wait, man. You know what? Jay Foreman, DP, we are back. Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese. Special ingredients and butcher shop located at 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat and every type of cut. Go in there and ask them what's up. Friday, they have their lunch specials, but we are in Tuesday. Good first hour, talking about different stuff. Obviously, Northwestern, the Commander's sale. some lawsuits heading their way. Hopefully, gets all rectified. But the biggest news in the NFL right now is yesterday was the last day that they tagged running backs. That means franchise tags. That means they pay you, I think, the top 5% of the average salaries of the running backs. So Saquon Barkley, Brandon Jacobs, and Pollard from Dallas all didn't receive new deals. Pollard was the only one that signed his 1 year, I think $10.75 million. Barkley and Jacobs are willing and most likely will be sitting out all training camp, and it's $10 million for running backs. Most likely miss some games. Number one, to prove the point. Two, to kind of fast forward the process of getting the deal done during the season. But more importantly, what I think they'll do is they'll miss some games. So even when they do sign their 1 year deal, that they can't be franchised again. And if you want an example on the other side of somebody when you want to get franchised and continue to be on the franchise tag is no other than Kirk Cousins, because it keeps going up every year and you're getting 1 year guaranteed at $30 million. And then you do it. Then the Vikings end up giving you $90 million guaranteed. Now, when you look at this, the big thing has been Austin Eckler had a really good point. He's in this too because he's franchised. He's participating, and he said he'll be at training camp. Barkley and Jacobs, like I mentioned before, won't. I think Pollard will be there, and so forth and so on. There's some other guys as well that they're on and Derrick Henry tweeted out that, and also I think McCaffrey, how, it's not fair and it's, injustice. Put out the nugget of collusion, which could be a viable. They won't win in court, but it is reality, because when you won't trade a player as Austin Eckler, who's older than Barkley and Jacobs, for a first and second round pick, that means there is some value of him as a player, and he's one of the top 10 backs easily in the league. Definitely one of the top 5 multifaceted backs. Definitely a stalwart in their organization. But you won't accept the first and second round pick, right? So that lets you also know that's the going rate for a franchise type of running back, according to the Chargers, is higher than that. Conversely, on the flip side, you don't want to offer him a contract of his capabilities. And then it, boils over into the other running backs as well. And there's a tweet out there by Des Bryant, which is, now granted, however you want to spend the numbers, because if you go about it and you look at the top 3 running backs, of course, they're going to be higher than the kickers. But there's it's just a simple tweet out there that if you take the average of all the kickers and average salary of all the kickers of an NFL kicker in 2023 and the average salary of an NFL running back in 2023, it's $1.8 million for the running backs, $2.26 million for the kickers. On top of, again, for the running backs argument, they have this scale of, what position is viewed as more elite and more detrimental, or not detrimental, but more needed to win. The running back is it. If you skew the numbers and look at it based on percentage of plays per what you're getting played, a little bit, the running backs will make more. The top end guys that have long contracts, the McCaffreys and those guys, definitely skew the numbers. The Derrick Henrys, the guys that are in the last year of their contract, huge salary cap numbers, right? That they're not going to get. They're going to be on Tennessee, so they're not going to relieve them of the average per year. So your average per year over all the running backs is a little bit higher, because you have a couple running backs that really high last year of the contract salary cap numbers. I just think it's something, it's good to see that the running backs are banding together to bring light to it, shed light to it, and not let it go, under the, to the wayside. And they're showing some continuity. To be honest with you, Saquon I said this yesterday, Jacobs has been off the charts since he's been in the league. And I think he's been one of the best backs, and he's been the most consistent. Saquon, I think, really showed that he was that dude. Same with Pollard, same with Eckler. But I will say this, right? And I've seen this before, Josh Jacobs and Tony Pollard and Saquon Barkley, your own union and your knucklehead people that are your representatives, when you had the power to sledgehammer, right? Remember, it was the NFLPA's new deal. Essentially, it seemed like it got done in a bathroom break. They went from talking
over coffee on a plane.
It wasn't coffee. It was like somebody went and dropped the deuce and came back and was like, "Hey, man, you're going to accept this deal or something?" Because remember, they were talking about potential holdout. They were talking about, telling the players. Remember, D. Smith got with them, said, "You guys need to start thinking about a holdout." Then all of a sudden, you accepted the deal because the younger NFL players didn't want to get suspended for smoking weed. So then they gave the ownership more power. So the owners are smarter at this game called business than these players. But you're supposed to have people in the position of leadership in the PA that shouldn't let you get duped by the ownership or Roger Goodell. The power lies in the product. The owners don't get paid if you ain't playing. Period.
I'm trying to see the number for Pro Bowl running backs last year, right? If you go through the top 8 runners, all make above $5 million a year. Then it drops. And then there are the majority of running backs, 75% of the running backs in the NFL make less than $2 million a year.
Right. And that's because there's
75% of all running backs.
But see, here's the deal: is see what the league is thinking now is, and it's a copycat league. You get more bang for your buck out of Pachinko and some other guys that that were 6th-round draft choices, and the law firm for Kansas City has been injury prone, and so you're like, okay, we spent a 1st-round pick on him. He's not getting to the 2nd contract. You saw a lot of these teams now where they're not picking up the 5th-year option, right? So they're trying to save that money as well. So what they're thinking is that they can go the cheap way and get more bang for their buck because they figure there's so many running backs out there. If we can get one to play a role, another one to play a role, you get 2 for 1. The problem is this: Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, and let's just throw Pollard and Eckler in there. Those guys just aren't coming out of college ranks. There's nobody in college that could do what these guys can do.
Henry, Chubb, Pollard, Jacobs, Barkley are the top 5 runners by salary and by production. Then if you jump down, there's Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, Austin Eckler, Jonathan Taylor from the Colts. So we understand the range in it. Then it drops under $3 million for the other 60% of starters in the NFL. 60% of starters. Forget about 3rd down dudes who produce in big volume, big numbers, and otherwise. And literally, none of what we're talking about. There are 6 running backs who play every down. And guess who makes that decision? Who controls their input and output? The coaches do. The coordinators do. This is not about Derrick Henry or Nick Chubb or Tony Pollard. This is about people who are making decisions on who gets overutilized, underutilized, and quite frankly, disrespected.
Right.
And then they're thrown away. Look, I'm a member of the running back committee. Like I'm going to fight this fight. This is a hill I'll die on. I don't understand it that at every level, Jay, the persona of Nebraska football, the reason why your defense was so good, you guys were on the field a lot.
Right. Yeah. Look,
Huskers got the ball. They kept Jay Foreman over there chilling. Jay over there chilling. They're over there regrouping. One, they just got off a 3 and out because they did their job. But then that offense was going to be on the field for 7-8 minutes.
Yeah, I think the thing is that, like, if you look at the list that you have, when you stop that Jonathan Taylor, everybody else are just guys that are just in the right situation.
Well, Christian McCaffrey is below that one because of the way his salary is set up. But okay, fine.
Okay,
Najee Harris, we understand that Travis Etienne that literally carried a team.
Najee Harris, Travis Etienne. I'm not losing sleep over it. I'm not losing sleep over Travis Etienne.
I'm good. Look, I like who these guys are. Miles Sanders is on the list. This is a Super Bowl running back.
But Miles Sanders is not making me lose sleep.
And I think that's the point, right? For the teams in the business, the point of the business end, not of the running back end, not of the coach end. The point of the business end is you can get 75-80% of Saquon production for 30 to 50% of the cost.
And you can't count on it when you need it.
But then here's what, but also
count it on Pacheco.
Chiefs are the unicorn and the outlier to every statistical discussion in the NFL.
But that's literally the point. Teams are trying to build like the Chiefs. Right or wrong, that's what they're trying to do.
That's why you're not catching them, because you don't have Patrick Mahomes.
I agree.
You guys are missing the
point. Or
point.
Andy Reid.
You guys are missing the point. All four of these guys, and throw Austin Eckler in here because it's eventually going to come. All of these teams are doing this because they know or have already overpaid or will overpay for quarterbacks. So what they're doing is we're going to take, even though they San Diego or the Chargers have already let you know how important Eckler is. A first and a 2 ain't good enough. But we can't pay him because they're going to have to pay Herbert pretty soon, right? Now look at the Las Vegas Raiders. They still owe Derek Carr money, and we just gave Jimmy G money. So we can't give you Josh Jacobs, right? Tony Pollard, Dak Prescott, Saquon Barkley, overpay for Danny Dimes. So when you're looking at this, there's a cause and effect. Yes, there could be collusion, and yes, these GMs get on the phone with the people in the media, and they get on with each other, and they find ways not to do it. It's just like when they say now all of a sudden they're not going to be drafting running backs high. You know, this is something that's been happening before. So if you're not drafting running backs high, that means you're not paying that full 4-year guaranteed if they're in their first round. So then therefore, if the running backs can become free agents early, well, then they're not going to pick up your 5th-year option. They're only playing 4 years. Now you're just stuck out of nowhere. Take what we want to give you, and you can't go anywhere else. This has been something that's been going like inching towards this. And now these guys are caught up in the wash, but it's really predicated on all this money they know in the future they're going to have to allocate to these quarterbacks, because when Danny Dimes gets overpaid and after a career year, guess what Justin Herbert said? I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to wait for the next guy to get paid. They even talked about Patrick Mahomes. He has to go back and restructure and get more money. Rightfully so. He's earned it. But then you think of Dak Prescott. If he does well, he's going to go back and get more money, right? The Raiders got 2 guys, high-priced guys. They got on the hook right now. They still are paying Derek Carr, and he's in New Orleans.
That's where I think the Eagles are fascinating too. Jalen Hurts just got paid. Right. And Miles Sanders is just a guy. Do they need to go get Zeke Elliott? Do they need to go get Saquon Barkley? Or is Jalen Hurts good enough to where you can have a couple just a guys and make it work?
You didn't get it done. Like if you could have kept Mahomes on the sideline for another 3 minutes, it's a different result.
We're going to see.
Look, at some point, learn to play football in the truest sense, in the simplest sense, because that's how bad teams get good and how good teams get great, is to learn how to run the football, let your defense recover, let your coaching staff have time to establish, let your big guys be big guys, and stop asking them to be dancers all the dang time. And then, you know what?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what Jalen Hurts does, because number one, I think he's well deserved of the money, right? And I'm not taking anything away from him, but you got more tape on him. He didn't play all 17 games, right? You got to think he had the shoulder injury. Now he played well, and he got paid, so people are aware of what he's doing. But Miles Sanders, even though I said that he wouldn't lose any sleep, he's still a Pro Bowl level running back. But what they did to kind of ease that is they traded for DeAndre Swift after a really good year, and they are hoping to get some traction out of him for 1 year, because now he's going into free agency after this year, and he most likely, the best case scenario, will get franchised, which is actually still saving him money, or he's somewhere else. And they have guys like Boston Scott, Rashad Penny has been productive, so they have guys they can fall back on. But the pressure now is ramped up on Jalen Hurts. So when Jalen Hurts first started, he could always hand it off to Miles Sanders in front of who had the best offensive line in front of him. Now you have the best offensive line. Now you got guys. Now guys aren't showing up worried about DeAndre Swift. You can run the ball all up and down the field. We don't want you getting it to A.J. Brown and Smith, and your tight ends or Gabbert, your tight end. So when you are purposely not paying your running backs, especially ones that are very, very productive and multifaceted. And I mean by they don't come off the field, you are pigeonholing yourself into all eyes on my quarterback, and your quarterback will not. You know what?
There's two quarterbacks
Not
in
finished.
recent NFL history who allowed you to piecemeal your running back game. They're Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady.
Yep.
That's it.
But,
the two most unique football players in the last 30 years of NFL history. And so you cannot rely, unless you think Jalen Hurts is Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, you better get us. You're telling me you think Daniel Jones is in the classification of Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady? No, he is not.
But here's what I'd ask you, though. See, with Tom Brady, the way that they did it to you guys, they had an excellent power back in LeGarrette Blount. They had Corey Dillon before that, and before that, Antoine Smith. Then they had White, right? And then they had, before that, they had Kevin Falk. Still mad at Kevin Falk. He caught a back shoulder fade on me up in New England. You know what I mean? So what they did was they had top tier guys at these particular things, and they kept them in. And then they circumvented it also with the short passing game. They would kill you in the middle with Gronkowski, and then Edelman and what's the other dude? Amendola would just, and Wes Welker would just work out right. That's a running play. Everybody look, Patrick Mahomes has a hose for an arm, right? When you look at his red zone where his passes are going, they're like 5 yards or less. So what they're doing, they're getting the ball to McKinnon, right? This is what people fail to realize. This is why Andy Reid is next level. He takes what Bill Belichick did and does it, and he just dices it up. What is McKinnon? He's like White or Kevin Falk. Then you got Pachenko. He's a power back, but he's a power back with 4.3 speed, right? And then he'll have other back that'll come in there, right? That'll be able to do this and that. And then he'll run the sweeps and stuff when they had Tyreek Hill, but they'll have other guys like with Tony. That's exactly what the Patriots did. And then they have the closer, and you know where the ball's going under pressure. Trust me, I've seen against the Buffalo. 13 seconds left. 87 running wide open. It's going to Kelsey. And then they usually have one wide receiver that can get it done. And Philly has two, but I'm going to be interested to see, since Philly's lost their offense and defensive coordinator, do they try to make it a Jalen Hurts show? And it doesn't work like that. He got paid by having a superior offensive line, a dominating run game, play action passes, and the game plan. But now you got paid. They're going to expect you to take that next level, and sometimes it takes away from your championship pedigree. And so it'll be interesting to see what Philly does. But as far as the running back situation, to put a bow on this, is that, if the running backs understand where they're at and are willing to hold tight and these teams start losing, right? The Raiders, because Josh McDaniels, his job is going to be on the line here if they don't, play better. Same in Dallas. And the Giants, even the owner said, listen, I don't want you on the front page of the thing of the New York Times of just being also just one lucky year. We got to start getting back to winning. If they start losing, that money and those phone calls start getting called back. So they just need to hold tight. Plus, you know what? Take a little vacation, come in fresh. You know what I mean? But I when you start missing games and missing game checks and stuff like that, it's hard to do, especially when you're getting paid $10 million and stuff like that. It's just
facts.
I think the biggest one that's a surprise to me is Saquon, because of, one, he's from Jersey, New York area, Jersey. Two, he's been a model citizen. Three, he came back like no other. And four,
hardest worker on
your team. And a perfect example of
hardest
what
worker
you want
on your team
for a New York Giant.
And it's not good enough, man. Boy, that doesn't do the math. Ain't math.
Right, but, just, he's not gonna. He doesn't have a ton of tread on his tires like Todd Gurley. Where he had a quick dip. Saquon is going to be that, especially if they get.
Send him to Washington. Go ahead.
He ain't going to Washington, man. He's chilling right there, Saquon. But hey, good first at the top of the hour, 5 o'clock. DPJ Foreman, Old School. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk about this commitment for the Huskers. Big man from Hawaii. He was out there doing doing his thing last night. He committed late, man. So we got to get him on this Central Standard Time. Jay Foreman, DP. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
It's a new era for Nebraska football with a new head coach. Gear up for the season with 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of Big Ten Media Days. Live from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis on July 26th and 27th. Jay Foreman, Amon Green, Vershawn Jackson, Terrell Farley, Derek Pearson, Steve Sipple, and Jake Sorensen will be in Indy for our shows on Wednesday and Thursday. Coverage of Big Ten Media Days is brought to you by Ben Bleicher of Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate, Gary Michaels Clothiers, Warhorse Gaming, A1 Automotive, and the 1890 Initiative.
Spring is here, and it's time to wake up Judson. Judson Irrigation is eager and ready to get your sprinkler system up and running for the season. Judson's technicians will check for winter damage, adjust your sprinkler heads, and show you how to set your controller for effective sprinkling coverage. The Judson Irrigation team is here for you. Stay safe.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Aloe is here to give you the FYI. Are your shows buffering? We know why. Are your games lagging? Don't deny. Your work calls dropping? Here's the FYI. Your old school internet company can't keep up. They give it a try. Their network isn't enough. Don't get trapped in their gimmicks and lies. It's time to fiber your internet with Aloe. Honest, local, and hassle-free is what we stand by. Experience Aloe Internet. Visit aloefiber.com/FYI.
Arnold's Tavern in Havelock is the place to be this summer, and the best place in town for shuffleboard. Come on Wednesdays and learn from some of the best players in town for the Shuffleboard Corner. Come on Sundays for Open House League all day starting at 11 a.m. and enjoy $3 tall boys and $3 wells. Shake off the start to the work week with karaoke on Monday nights. And don't forget, happy hour is every day from 3 to 6 p.m., and you are always welcome to bring in your own food. Arnold's Tavern in the heart of Havelock.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OakStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
Oak Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website, cpmercado.com, to see current deals.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Jay Foreman, DP. Old School. Austin on the 1s and 2s, the 3s and 4s, 5s and 6s. Big news out of Husker land. Late, not last night, night before. Commit. Big offensive tackle from Hawaii. Big ups to Donovan Raiola. Been hitting the recruiting trail pretty hard this year. You know, getting guys from all over, obviously, the country, but going out there and get one of the, big Hawaiians, a 4-star recruit, 6'4", 315. The one thing I'll say about before we get into the player is my, how things change. When we hired Donovan, didn't have experience. Could he or couldn't recruit, doesn't have a network. When they look like he's doing all right now. I know that there's other coaches assisting him, and I know and I know all that, but you're not going to get guys to come here if the coach can't recruit, period, or can't coach. So big ups to him. But big man, Austin, can you help me with his name?
It's Preston.
What's his last? No, I know his first name. What's his last name?
As long as you say
Taumua.
Yeah, Preston Taumua, PT, a PTP, a primetime player, 6'4". 315, big, same stock as Penei. Was it Penei Sewell?
Sewell,
yeah. Same high school, I think, right? Or I know he has some connection with him. Big fella, can move, big old strong dude. Obviously, he's gonna, obviously, have another great senior year, come in and handle his business. I think that the one thing about recruiting with Nebraska right now, as we move towards this 2024 class, how many do they end up taking? And now commitments aren't commitments until you sign, but let's just say everybody is on board and they'll lose some guys and they'll go have to recruit some other guys. But for guys that are kind of been sitting on this Nebraska offer, or kind of waiting to really take Nebraska seriously, now granted, they'll always keep a spot open for Baker, the tackle from out in California and stuff. Those are kind of, you got, and as a other recruit, you got to be okay with that. But some guys, got to start making some decisions. The one thing I've really realized about recruiting, and I always say that the class ranking and the player doesn't mean anything now. In 2 or 3 years, that big data lets you know how good they really are. You have to. Versus when I got recruited, we only had one signing period. The big thing was have a good senior year and all that other. No, there was guys that committed early, but now times is moving fast, dude. Even with them shutting down the unlimited portal time, with two signing periods and 2 portal times, I think, right, where you can go and come and go places. The commitments have to be early. So what that tells me for you parents out there, you have to do your research and your due diligence early on, and the coaches too. And that's what Coach Rule and those guys have done. They're in on guys, knowing guys, the development guys they feel secure about, and they're offering them quick. But they're also making sure that they're fostering these relationships. And then they're like, okay, listen, we don't need you on campus like 85 times. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't know about it like the 6, 7, 8 times, then you might not know at all, because you want guys that truly come here that want to be here in theory.
It's good to know that you're able to pull this off.
Right.
I like the move, and there's a full portal. I had people who were at the All Poly camp in Utah talking about this player and Coach Rail. So that tells me that there's a change in the environment,
right,
the vacuum, because this is not a thing that would have happened a year ago.
Right. I mean,
that's the real measure for me, is that this signing would not have happened a year ago. Wouldn't have happened 2 years ago.
The commitment wouldn't have been this early.
Right.
So, like, Wet Blankets is a Polynesian coach from Hawaii recruited a Polynesian player from Hawaii. Is that really evidence of coaching recruiting? Yeah, because here's what you would be saying, Wet Blanket or anybody that would, if it didn't happen, you can't even recruit. You're a Polynesian coach. You're from Hawaii. Your brother's one of the greatest offensive line coaches here. You couldn't get your nephew, and now you can't go get a offensive lineman of Polynesian descent from your home state. That's what people will be saying. So it can't be damn if you do, damn if you don't. You have to be, for them to getting them on campus is one thing. Getting kids to commit early is another thing. That's the one thing I've realized. Because we've seen it with Mike Riley at Friday Night Lights. You know what I mean? I mean, he had everybody under the sun here, down here for Friday Night Lights.
Well, it's a free trip. Sometimes they just want to see the plays.
Right. But it's different to get you here, foster the relationship, right? And then get them to commit because they're believing in something, they're believing in you.
Yeah, I had to
where you can possibly take them.
Well, I mean, he's not going to give his career to the wrong person. Like ultimately, especially when you're a Polynesian star, you could go anywhere. The inside track was, again, at the all poly camp, the belief was that he was going to go to Utah.
Right.
They thought it was Utah, BYU, USC, which is kind of the usual normal steps for Polynesian linemen in that space. Add Oregon to it, and then maybe UCLA, and that's generally the rule. The all poly camp is a great identifier, and the fact that Nebraska pulled from the all poly camp is a sign that somebody, some elder, and when I talk about the elders of Polynesian line play in this country, the cosign is required, and being Polynesian wasn't enough. Being Nebraska wasn't enough. As a matter of fact, being Nebraska wasn't good enough. This is a step in the right direction. Not saying that it changes anything other than, one, it opens the door. Two, it cosigns the fact that both Polynesian culture and the Nebraska brand is good enough for one of the 10 top linemen of Polynesian background. That's a huge thing to say.
I mean, they're doing it, and Coach Rayola is in on recruiting on 4 different types of linemen. Talking in reference to Wet Blanket. So you got Gibson Powell from Klein, Texas, right? 6'4", 290. And then you got my man from Peters from Iowa, who's 6'3", 260 from Cedar Falls. Then you got the my man that I did a black shirt breakdown on right here, that Landon Davidson, and then you got Preston Tamua. Okay, first of all, I haven't seen much tape on Preston, but them 3 other dudes, they play with an edge. So it's letting me know that he is recruiting to a personality type.
Well, I'm not sure that they've had
a personality.
A Tamua here. When you watch his film, and again, so when this was announced, immediately, I need to get on the phone and hear from somebody. And this is Utah Polynesian, the all poly camp line coach. And what he said was, listen, he's got a bit of Rayola in him. Now that tells me a whole bunch of stuff. But imagine Donovan at 315 pounds at the age of 17. Right? So that tells me he's nasty. Got a little bull snort to him, right? That he's a baby, and he's a grinder, but he can pull. He's a dancer, and he's long armed. Serious trunk. Those are the coach's words. So, yeah, look, you got to do. Yeah, it's not a question of whether you got to do. This dude can play. He's a dude. The fact that you got this dude, one, to consider you, and then 2, to jump the broom and say, Nebraska and Rayola are good enough for what I want to be in my life. That's a huge, and what it does is it opens the portal for Polynesian players at the 4-star level. You're not going to date down now. You can actually get in the dating pool and date up.
Yeah, well, and the thing is that also with Polynesian players and like, I wouldn't say their culture. I'm not going to speak for them, but just the way it goes over there is they're very loyal, right? And they play and do things for a lot of times for a bigger purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So when Preston committed, it's a commitment of the whole family, though. It's like they're handing their son off to a coach. So this isn't just like, all right, let me go get a kid from Hawaii.
Well, you're adding the coach to the family.
Well, no, Coach Raiola isn't going to risk his reputation by not recruiting, by doing something wrong, and he's not going to let somebody at Nebraska do it because they're
different level of accountability.
Different
You're absolutely right.
You're right. So it's bigger than that, and I'm a firm believer of, the recruits come here, you get them here, then it's up to the coaches in the culture and themselves, more importantly, to make themselves better.
I like the fact that you point out what it means for them to choose Donovan Raiola, and then add to that how important it is that they chose Nebraska.
It's huge. It's huge because, they've had guys that come to Nebraska and most of them have done well, some haven't, and they've had guys that go other places and done very well. Recently, Utah, Oregon, UCLA, all over the country. And obviously you got Tua that went from, Hawaii to all the way to Alabama, and that's where they felt like Alabama was in there as well. And Alabama has a tradition of offensive line play, but there's something that a connection that was a little bit bigger than going down to Alabama, even though there's been recent history. Not only him, Henry Tuatu, the linebacker. So it's not just Tua. There's other guys down there with Polynesian descent that have done well. Nebraska's able to leapfrog all those guys, and it just kind of goes right into what they've been doing. And you're not going to know how good these guys are until they get on campus and get in your system and all that. But I think the personality and the way they're going about recruiting, you can see they have a type. You can see they have a look or a process they go through. I can tell you this from right now, just from the way that they go about things, they are very confident in what they can do and with the opportunity that they present to you, like as a player. And then also they're very confident in what they can do for you as a athlete in the whole.
Look, if you go to I'm just telling you, if you go to the all poly camp and you're one of the 200 offensive or defensive linemen who get to go in there and you make it out of there, and then listen,
I always wonder what, like, they got good, they got good grass over there, but every time I look, like, it's like everybody play on the same field.
Oh, let me tell you, if you've ever been over to Hawaii and gone to the camps, and the all poly camp in Utah, and it was held in Ogden, so it wasn't Salt Lake City, then it was Ogden, just to get to, because sending folks to BYU, a lot of the Polynesian family culture is tied to the Mormon church, so them being able to do that, and it is additional exposure, it's additional family, and then a change of location and elevation for the families. But to watch them go through, Jay, just the film of all poly camp and watch them work, I would imagine that somewhere in the 90s and mid 90s in Lincoln, Nebraska, it would look and sound something very similar.
Oh, they get after it, man. Yeah, you better come with it. You mess around and see, Fumatu over there, that offensive
Kimawatus, all the IUs,
Tony Fanu.
Oh,
whatever,
man, look,
they got some big dudes over there.
Oh, my goodness gracious! Yeah,
I think really what they're trying to do, hopefully, ideally, and in theory, look, the one thing I could say, and this is what I said this about Scott Frost and those guys as well. You only can. It's like you can only recruit the guys that you feel that are good, like that you feel that fit your system. Now, when they get here, you have to make, you in theory also as well can only do so much. You can't control, like, you can't make somebody love football.
Yeah.
You can't make somebody want to do more or be better than what they are at a freshman. And I think this new staff is trying to dig in deeper into what makes guys tick to make sure that they want to be here and they will compete and leave a mark here versus come here and say, oh man, I was really good at, Eden Prairie High School. I'm not starting as a freshman. I'm not getting a whole bunch of catches. Now some of them had some justification. I do. And I don't think these guys are going to promise anything, or hopefully they're not, but some of these kids come here and they don't have instant success. They like just throw their hands up, take the ball.
That is not a part of what just signed or committed to.
But that's what I'm saying. They're trying to look intrinsically in them to make sure or try to get guys that want to actually be great, and be there for the right reasons. And everything that you want, that you hear about, whether it's NIL, opportunities on the football field, opportunities after football, both living here in Lincoln, and then obviously possibly if you really play good, go to the NFL, is right there in front of you, but it's not going to be given to you because you have to go earn it and take it.
Well, I mean, it's coming from cultures of competition from an early stage.
But some guys just don't know how to handle competition. Some guys don't embrace competition. And I will tell you, everybody that's faced competition, your first reaction, and this is everybody, is like, bump it, I'm going to go somewhere else. But then once you have a non-emotional and impulsive talk with yourself and have good people around you, which he has a strong family background.
Yes, he does.
He can talk to, he can have Donovan and Dominic as advisors on how to do it. They'll stick it out and it'll work out for him at the end. So, I just think that, he's just it's good to get a 4-star lineman. You keep bringing him in there. You're trying to reestablish.
You just turned on the faucet to a whole new talent pool.
Now, if he comes and starts kicking butt, then you're going to start to see a whole bunch of big dudes up in here.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir. We're going to get some new restaurants.
Eating all that papaya and all that
we're
stuff.
going to get some new restaurants, some new food in town.
Man, the dudes can eat, man.
Look,
and so,
that was more than anything else. That's what I miss about Salt Lake City.
them big dudes can eat and they get happy
and
too,
the family bring it.
Hey, and also they season their meat and they can grill.
Hello,
so, come on, man. But we're gonna go to break. We're gonna come back and put a bow on this. We're gonna talk about a little bit of DeAndre Hopkins, and I did some research up on his contract and how much and the reason why he went to Tennessee. It was a good move or not, because it possibly could affect whether he tried to make that last push to the Hall of Fame. So there's bigger than money playing right here. Jay Foreman, DP, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. It's a new era for Nebraska football with a new head coach. Gear up for the season with 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of Big Ten Media Days. Live from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis on July 26th and 27th. Jay Foreman, Amon Green, Vershawn Jackson, Terrell Farley, Derek Pearson, Steve Sipple, and Jake Sorensen will be in Indy for our shows on Wednesday and Thursday. Coverage of Big Ten Media Days is brought to you by Ben Bleicher, a professional realty group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate, Gary Michaels Clothiers, Warhorse Gaming, A1 Automotive, and the 1890 Initiative.
Arnold's Tavern in Havelock is the place to be this summer and the best place in town for shuffleboard. Come on Wednesdays and learn from some of the best players in town for the Shuffleboard Corner. Come on Sundays for Open House League all day starting at 11 a.m. and enjoy $3 tall boys and $3 wells. Shake off the start to the work week with karaoke on Monday nights. And don't forget, happy hour is every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and you are always welcome to bring in your own food. Arnold's Tavern in the heart of Havelock.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings. Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through July 18th are $2 off each pound of petite tender cuts, and don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations opening soon at 27th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha, with soft openings in mid-July. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Summertime is in full swing, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway. Deck City, your local deck experts.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Now through July 19th, you can join for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 convenient locations worldwide and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. Whether you're a newbie or a gym pro, you belong in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, July 19th. See Home Club for details.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Allo is here to give you the FYI. Are your shows buffering? We know why. Are your games lagging? Don't deny. Your work calls dropping? Here's the FYI. Your old school internet company can't keep up. They give it a try. Their network isn't enough. Don't get trapped in their gimmicks and lies. It's time to fiber your internet with Allo. Honest, local, and hassle-free is what we stand by. Experience Allo Internet. Visit allofiber.com/FYI.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Spring is here, and it's time to wake up Judson. Judson Irrigation is eager and ready to get your sprinkler system up and running for the season. Judson's technicians will check for winter damage, adjust your sprinkler heads, and show you how to set your controller for effective sprinkling coverage. The Judson Irrigation team is here for you. Stay safe.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
He's like a steel cage match.
Amen.
Man, 2 hours goes by quick, man.
Austin, poor Austin.
I know.
Can we apologize to his whole family?
No, he's good.
We said we have changed Austin. Austin's
fine. He ain't been over.
I've been educated. Learning.
He ain't been no Oasis or Burke's Barbershop.
Right? He gonna meet some people when Austin's just gonna go.
I can't do the fade like that.
Yeah.
It's not
happening. Austin's good.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah, you could.
They would.
Yeah, you
could.
could.
Austin.
Sure?
Oh,
Austin.
yeah.
Sure?
Have you seen the Instagram where they bring the dude in there and he got you would be swagalicious after. But anyways, to put a bow on
we need to do that. We need to do that.
Another big NFL news is DeAndre Hopkins had decided or finally picked the Tennessee Titans over the New England Patriots, which I think was the next biggest money deal in Buffalo, but the Tennessee Titans gave him $2.5 million more per year than anybody else was offering. So his what he was looking for during the season or when he became a free agent quickly changed when he can make up to $15 million.
Can we just be honest? Let's have an honest discussion for the final 2 minutes. Jay Foreman, Austin and I have zero idea of the concept of an additional $2.5 million for anything.
Essentially in the first year. Essentially, it's in the first year. Though.
We have no 99.9% of the people listening have no concept that this dude has so much money that he could be in the discussion of an additional $2.5 million. And to do the same thing.
Not a raise, not a promotion.
Like, and none of them are stat based. They all, hey, bro, just show up, wear the uniform, do what you do. We will give you an additional $2.5
how much more
million dollars. And you mentioned Pollard getting that first $10 million contract. Listen to me. I don't want to hear Pollard's name in any negative discussion about having to make decisions, because somebody just offered a dude who does not have $10 million.
Right.
$10 million for the next year.
Check.
Like, we're going to give you $10 million right now. Like, we're going to commit $10 million, bro. $10 million. Hey, you wasn't even the dude last year. You was the dude next to what the dude say. You were the man next to the man. You wasn't the man. You don't have to lead the Cowboys. You don't have to be Zeke. You just got to be you for $10 million. Oh my goodness, we are making bad choices in life. Austin, we need to go work out.
Tell me about it.
Like, we need to go. I need to, what? Jay Foreman.
Yeah, he's got salary this year is 12, and he can make an additional $5 million with incentives. He's 31 years old, 10 years of experience. When he was in Houston, he was the dude. If he can get back to get 75% of that, he was he'll definitely help the Titans get back to playoff contention. I think the Titans are looking at it, even though Jacksonville, was good last year, won the division, went in the playoffs, gave the Chiefs everything they could handle. I think Tennessee feels like this is still their division. So with that being said, they need a legitimate receiver to go with Tannehill, King Henry. You got Burks from last year. With the defense that's always going to be there. They got Simmons back. They stay healthy. Tennessee and Vrabel think they have that type of cachet on that team. It's like, I got 2 more year run in me, and that coincides with bringing him in. And if Burks can come along with him, now you got DeAndre Hopkins like 2.0, and you resurrect his career. And he was actually playing well up until he got injured.
The best way to resurrect his career is 3 letters. PED. Give him more. Keep him out of the division.
Hey, from the text line, Chubby Rhino says this to you, Austin. Said, Austin, I'm a white guy. And I mean no swag white guy. I went to the barber and got lined up. Bro, I left feeling fresh. He's just letting you know it could be done. Could be done. Attaboy,
even
Chubby
for
Rhino.
me?
Even for you. He just said he's a no swag white guy. He said he went to the barber. Brother hooked him up, got him all lined up. He's feeling fresh.
There you go, Austin.
Fresh.
In the building.
You have to say it like that.
DeAndre Hopkins, 700 yards last year through 9 games, 3 touchdowns.
He can play for me.
Yeah.
He can play for me.
Biggest hands in the catch radius in the league. So
he can play for me.
Good show again. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. We'll see if there's any more Northwestern news. They do have a press conference tomorrow, and one former Northwestern player is showing up. So we'll see if it's must-see TV or must-watch tweet or whatever it is. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin, we out.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through July 18th are $2 off each pound of petite tender cuts. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations opening soon at 27th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha, with soft openings in mid-July. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.